the ALDS. Kirby rearranging the rosin bag and spike cleaner on the back of the heel, tightens up his shoelaces, picks up his glove and blows in his right hand as he walks toward the rubber. Springer settles into the righty box, looking out to Kirby, who stretches his arm above his head and flaps his glove. Right-hander into the wind, kicks, and the pitch. Fastball in there, strike one. Time of the first pitch, 5:10 local, 8:10 Eastern. 15 degrees and windy in Seattle. A little sunlight on the center field bleachers. 0-1. Springer swings late and grounds the ball to third. Two hops and it's backhanded by Suarez, who throws to first for the first out of the game.
And there was that good slider down and away. First pitch was actually a fastball at 97 miles an hour. I was a bit surprised by that. We've seen a lot of pitches over the course of the year try to flip a breaking ball in first pitch because George Springer loves to ambush guys first pitch of the ball game. But that was a good sequence right there. Fastball, slider, see you later.
Springer had led off 3 straight games with an extra base hit. A major league record in the postseason, but that has come to an end today. First pitch to Nathan Lucas, called a strike. Home plate umpire tonight is Ben May. Marvin Hudson, the crew chief, at first base. DJ Rayburn at second. Quinn Walcott at third, with Ryan Addington in left and Doug Eddings in right. 0-1 pitch. Lucas fouls it away. It's 0-2.
Two good heaters. One up and away, one at the top of the strike zone, almost on the hands. You can see how well he locates that pitch. He's done just that over the course of his career.
Time called. They'll get Kirby a new baseball. Long sleeves for Lucas on a chilly 15-degree/59 degree night in Seattle. The wind and the 0-2. Inside. Lucas turned out of the way of a sinker. Ball one.
Averages about 96 miles an hour with that sinker. That last sinker was 98 miles an hour.
So he might be a little pumped up for this big game. Mariners leading the series 2-0. No score in the first with one out and the bases empty. The 1-2. Swing and a miss. He got him. Lucas laid on 97 in the zone. First strikeout for Kirby. 2 down in the first.
The Blue Jays know that he threw 50% sliders in his last start. So it almost looks, early on at least, like they're expecting him to throw more sliders than he is. I mean, that was a great sequence. Just fastball after fastball to Nathan Lucas. Blew that last one right by him.
2 out, spaces empty. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. to the plate. And the pitch. Downstairs, ball one. Missed with 98 off the corner. It's another 98-mile-an-hour sinker. The 1-0 pitch. Guerrero serves it foul over the first base dugout and into the seats. 1-1.
This place is loud, Ben.
It is. They have never led an ALCS going into Game 3, let alone hosting it. 1-1 pitch. Guerrero with a high chopper to third, tracking back. Suarez with a leaping snag, bounces it to first, and it's by and into the camera well. Guerrero will get second base for free on what could go as an infield hit, but will definitely go as an error on Eugenio Suarez.
Well, I think Suarez, who made a great play to actually come up with that baseball, had more time than he initially thought. Threw that baseball quickly to first base. One-hopped it. Obviously, Josh Naylor couldn't come up with it. That was actually a really tough play. He had to deal with Vladimir Guerrero Jr. running past him as he was trying to pick that baseball. But now the Blue Jays have to come up with a big hit here, and Anthony Santander, who's in the cleanup spot, needs to do that.
A hit and an error. Guerrero on second, 2 outs, no score in the top of the first. Kirby from the stretch, the pitch. Slider, called strike, just grabbed the outside edge. Santander 3 for 13 in these playoffs, 2 RBIs. Both came on a 2-run single in Game 3 in New York. 0-1 pitch, upstairs. Santander asks a question to the home plate ump, Ben May. Switch hitter batting left with a runner in scoring position and 2 outs. A look to second, one more peek, and the 1-1. Swing and a miss. Blew 97 by him right at the top of the zone, 1-2.
That was a good fastball, good velocity. But I tell you what, that was a good swing from Anthony Santander. He just missed that pitch. He was right on it.
He'll ask for time and collect his thoughts as he adjusts his white batting gloves. Steps back into the box. Toes of his left foot near the inside chalk. Spin to the bat. He brings it up to his left shoulder. Kirby is set. And with 2 outs, the 1-2 pitch. Up and in, 2-2. Missed at 98 again with a sinker.
That almost got him in the hands. And again, that opens up the outside part of the plate. You make that big guy feel uncomfortable with that hard stuff inside, and you can go away with something.
Does have an occasional splitter. Kirby doesn't use it much. His 2-2. Swing and a foul tip, strike 3. Got him on a slider, and it's a scoreless top of the first with 2 punch-outs for George Kirby. No runs, a hit, 1 error, 1 left. And we'll see Shane Bieber in a scoreless game.
Great moment.
.3.5 ERA in 7 starts, coming off Tommy John surgery. Bieber's playoff debut for the Blue Jays cut short after 2 2/3. He gave up 5 hits, 3 runs, 2 of them earned. John Schneider said circumstances led to the early pull. The Blue Jays were looking to clinch the ALDS with a lead. They saw a slight wobble from him in that start and took him out early. We'll see what he has in this one. He'll begin with the longtime Ray and now Mariner, Randy Arozarena. Right-hander Bieber staring in at the righty hitter Arozarena. The wind and the pitch. Just outside with a fastball at 93, ball 1. 4-seamer slider, knuckle curve, kick changeup, and cutter for Bieber. His 1-0. Just below the knees, says Ben May. 2 balls, no strikes.
2 pitches to lead off this game, just off the plate outside. You have to throw strikes or Arozarena with Cal Raleigh on deck.
And there's a strike with a cutter elevated in the zone. Freezes Arozarena. It's 2-1. Arozarena, a 27-homer man this year. 5 for 31 in the playoffs. 2-1. Up and in with a breaking ball. 3 balls and 1 strike as Arozarena had to duck out of the way of the slider. 5th career playoff start for Bieber. His 3-1. inside, ball 4. Very uncharacteristic of a command guy like Bieber. He walks the leadoff hitter in the bottom of the first.
Yeah, and those last couple of pitches really weren't close to the strike zone. You got to lock in here with Cal Raleigh walking to the plate. And also, you have to keep an eye on Randy Arozarena, who had 31 stolen bases this season. Probably won't take off here with no outs and Raleigh up at the plate, but you still have to pay attention to him.
Here is the guy they call the big dumper. Switch hitter batting left. Raleigh stands in from the stretch of the pitch. In there for his strike, starts him with a fastball at the bottom part of the zone, 0-1. He very well could be the MVP that Mariners fans are chanting for right now. Raleigh with 60 homers on the year, 0-1. Swing and a deep drive foul. Got way out in front of that cutter in on him, and it's 0-2.
And if you're going to come into him, that's where you have to be up and in. Even if he's on time with that pitch, he's just going to hit it foul like he did right there. Did have the distance, but that was way foul down the right field line.
28-year-old switch hitter bounces his bat on the plate, wheels it around and looks out to Shane Bieber. No score, bottom of the first. Runner on first and no outs. The 0-2 pitch. In the dirt, blocked by Kirk, sliding to his right. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Alejandro Kirk announced as a finalist for the Gold Glove at catcher this season. Standing right beside a Platinum Glover at that position last year in Cal Raleigh.
And he deserves it. He just showed off his blocking skills right there, keeping Arozarena at first.
Guerrero with a slight hold on Arozarena. Blue Jays shift toward first with Big Raleigh up. Bieber's 1-2. Down and in again, 2-2. Twice he's trying to make him chase back foot sliders. That one landed where he wanted it, but Raleigh wouldn't budge. And Cal Raleigh's worked himself a 2-2 count.
And a good job from Shane Bieber holding the baseball on the mound out there, forcing Arozarena to feel uncomfortable. At the same time, you still want to make good pitches to Cal Raleigh and not concern yourself too much with that guy at first base.
Despite only slightly above average speed, Arozarena with 31 stolen bases this regular season. 2-2. Lifted down the left field line, chasing after it. Lucas crosses over the chalk and makes the grab on the side warning track. Rifles it back because Arozarena was way off first base. And Arozarena gets back in there. 1 out, a big out as they get Raleigh.
That is a massive out, but I'm more impressed by the fact that Nathan Lucas caught that baseball, threw it all the way from foul territory down that left field line, and almost got Randy Arozarena at first base. Not sure what Arozarena was doing, but that's a heck of a play out there. Really heads up from Nathan Lucas.
Lina just slapped Arozarena on the arm. You know, you want to take a bit of a lead, but once you see Lucas get into foul territory, you got to be back there. He did get back in time. So he's on first, 1 out. Julio Rodriguez up, and a throw over to first. They almost got him, but he dives back in safe.
No point to the dugout from Vladimir Guerrero Jr. That tells you that he did not get him.
John Schneider's still looking. You do get 2 challenges in the postseason, but they will not use one here. Arozarena reestablishes his 3.5-step lead. Inches it out slightly. Bieber in the set, peeking over his shoulder. And the pitch to Rodriguez. There goes Arozarena. Pitch is called a strike. Throw to second a little bit late. Arozarena beat it out. Good pitch to run on. A slider at 85. And Arozarena has his 4th stolen base of the season. He's on second.
Wasn't a bad throw from Alejandro Kirk back there. But Arozarena stole that base on Shane Bieber. Got a really nice jump. Got in there pretty easily.
Arozarena and Naylor, 2 of the smartest base stealers in baseball. Arozarena on second, 1 out, scoreless game, bottom 1. The pitch. Rodriguez checks his swing on a heater inside. 1 ball and 1 strike. So the Blue Jays had a runner in scoring position with 2 outs in the top half. The Mariners, with 1 out in the bottom half of the first, have a runner on second. Bieber just shook off his sign. Now he sets, staring at Arozarena. His pitch to Rodriguez is lifted out to left center and deep. Lucas in a jog, looking up. That ball is gone. Julio Rodriguez sends Seattle into madness in the bottom of the first as the Mariners jump in front 2-0.
Well, we talked about this before the ball game. The key to success for Shane Bieber is executing his pitches. Hasn't done that really at all in this start. He throws that fastball almost right down the middle. Julio Rodriguez, in a good hitter's count, did not miss it. He barreled it up and got it out of here in a hurry.
For Rodriguez, his second home run of the series, third of the postseason overall. And this place was already loud, even louder now with the Mariners holding a first-inning lead. First pitch to Jorge Polanco, hit deep to right center. Santander on the run, and it's over his head, and one hops the fence. Ground rule double. Jorge Polanco on a curve on the outer third. He got around it, and the Mariners threatening again, already up 2-0.
That's a pretty good piece of hitting from Jorge Polanco, waiting back, finding a way to get the barrel to that baseball, and just missing a home run with that ground rule double. If you're Shane Bieber, you got to go to work now. You got to start making pitches. 1 through 6, 1 through 7 in this lineup is very, very powerful. They hit a lot of home runs. They hit a lot of line drives. You have to be careful to Josh Naylor here. You're already down 2-0. You don't want to go down 3-0.
Naylor up, batting left, the Mississauga native. Faces a first pitch from Bieber, his former teammate, and he grounds it foul, 0-1. Naylor in the postseason, 9 for 31. 2 doubles, a homer, a walk, and 4 strikeouts. Bieber set, peeks back at the runner on second, Polanco. And the 0-1. In the dirt, 1 ball and 1 strike. Infield shift toward first base. The shortstop, Andres Jimenez, plays almost right behind the second base bag. But Barger's got to stay close to third with a runner on second. 1-0, hit foul. Or rather, a 1-1 hit foul to make it 1-2.
You have to stay out of the zone here. You don't want Josh Naylor barreling something up here, or finding a way to get to the outfield. Jorge Polanco has decent speed out there at second base. Probably will score on anything to the outfield.
Hands on knees for Polanco. Small lead off second. Bieber staring at him. Has not seen yet. Now he will. That Naylor's asked for time. 2-0 series lead for the Mariners. And in this bottom of the first, they lead 2-0 on the Julio Rodriguez homer. Bieber's 1-2 in the dirt. We welcome you to the Don Valley North Lexus broadcast booth. I'm Ben Schulman alongside Chris LaRue. Show Ali is our host and producer. Tom Young, Lloyd Glazer, and Phil Holter, our technical directors. Open stance for Naylor, leaning back from the left side. 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3, and he lost his bat. It's tumbling toward the Mariners' dugout. Chased a fastball eye high, and there are 2 down.
Probably missed his location by a little bit, but that's a good sequence. Getting that fastball at about eye level, getting Josh Naylor to swing and miss there. Josh Naylor obviously thinking something else in that situation. He was just beat by that fastball.
And that was literally past his eyes.
Yeah.
Although a guy who swings a lot can be a bad ball hitter, but he goes down. 2 outs in the bottom of the first inning. 2-0 Mariners, and the pitch to Eugenio Suarez. Just high, ball 1.
If I'm Shane Bieber, I'm careful with Eugenio Suarez. You have that open base at first base, especially now that you're behind in the count 1-0.
The pitch, foul back. Slider right over the middle, and he got away with one there. It's 1-1.
Yeah, I don't know if he was trying to throw that pitch there. Probably trying to throw it down and away. But now that you snuck a strike in there, you can really throw whatever you want in this count.
Suarez 4 for 29 in the postseason. A double and a homer. 1-1. Swing and a miss. He was sitting something else way behind 92 there. It's 1-2.
Seems like he's pitching backwards just a little bit. Normally you wouldn't see a fastball in that count. Throw another one just around the neck. Suarez rests the bat on his right shoulder. Polanco on second. The 1-2.
Lifted to shallow left center. Andres Jimenez, the shortstop, on the grass, calls for it, angles left and makes the catch to end the first inning. But the Mariners strike for a pair. 2-run homer by Julio Rodriguez after the leadoff walk. A double from Polanco left stranded. It's 2-0 Seattle after an inning. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown. Than it was early in the year. 1-0 pitch. Outside, ball 2.
And also, Bryce Miller is still hurt.
Yeah, he's pitching with a bone
and he looked fantastic in his first start here in this series.
Now, should be noted, the Blue Jays came here in May. They swept the Mariners in Seattle. 2-0 pitch to Kirk. On the inside edge, 97 with a sinker, strike 1.
I like that take there. That's not the pitch you're looking for. Looks like Alejandro is waiting for his pitch and being patient up there.
He's looking to get going in this series, Kirk. Here's the 2-1. And he shoots the ball on a line, leaping catch at first, Josh Naylor. That's a heck of a play from the Mississauga native, 1 out.
Yeah, that's the approach that we've seen from Alejandro Kirk when he's seeing the ball well. That was a good fastball, 97, almost right down the middle. He shot it the other way, but, I mean, you got to tip your cap. Josh Naylor was playing in the perfect position about 20 feet off the first base bag.
Climbed the ladder a little bit to catch it on the backhand side. And after tossing it around the horn, George Kirby has it back, and Dalton Varsho is at the plate. 1 out, base is empty, 2-0 Mariners. The pitch. Varsho takes, called strike 1, a slider that just clipped the top of the zone. Left-handed hitter is batting 7 for 23 in the postseason, a .304 average, 5 extra base hits. 0-1. Fouled it back. Little bit late there on 96, but that was 96 right down the middle. It's 0-2.
Yeah, and I like that swing. Anthony Santander had a big swing early on in a fastball. Dalton Varsho really let loose right there. Looks like the Blue Jays are going for it here. I like the aggressiveness that they've shown so far in the first couple of innings.
One out, top of the second, an 0-2 count with the bases empty. Kirby flapping his glove into the wide. 2-strike pitch. Popped up by Varsho. Should be playable. Foul territory, first base side. Naylor over the postseason logo makes the catch. 2 outs.
Let's take a look at the out-of-town scoreboard, which is brought to you by St. Louis Bar and Grill. On now for a limited time. All-you-can-eat classic Angus burgers for just $14.99. You heard that right. Visit stlouiswings.com for full details. You are welcome.
Blue Jays Mariners is the only game in action tonight, but if you missed it yesterday, the Dodgers took a second game on the road against the Brewers, winning 5-1 on the back of a complete game from Yoshinobu Yamamoto. Pitched out to Addison Barger. Washington native takes high ball 1. Teoscar Hernandez also had a home run for the Dodgers in that game. Game 3 goes from Los Angeles with Tyler Glasnow set to pitch tomorrow. 1-0. High, 2 balls and no strikes. Barger's worked himself into a nice hitter's count.
George Kirby is really locating to the top of the strike zone well. That's something that he's done over the course of his career, but tonight he's doing it really, really well.
4th season for the righty, his 2-0 pitch. And Barger lifts it out to center, right near Julio Rodriguez. Backed up, but now creeps in and toward right center to make the grab and make it a 1-2-3, top of the second. 2-0 Mariners, middle of 2. You're listening to Game 3 of the American League Championships.
Great moments in baseball have been broadcast on the radio since 1921.
Smith, Clark.
Check swing, called strike, changeup at the top of the zone, powered in at 88, 0-1. Infield shift toward first, the 0-1 pitch. right there for strike two. 93 on the outer third.
Good sequence, good changeup, good fastball. Now you're ahead 0-2. Throw something out of the strike zone. Get that important first out here in the second inning.
Canzone had asked for time. Steps back in, gripping his black bat above his left shoulder. 2-strike pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike three. Got him to chase a breaking ball in the dirt. That's the knuckle curve for Bieber, and there's one out.
That was about as good as it gets for Shane Bieber. A good changeup, a good fastball down in that strike zone, and then he threw his best pitch, that good knuckle curve. Looked like a strike, and then it bounced just behind home plate. I mean, if Shane Bieber can continue to locate his pitches like that, he'll be fine the rest of the way.
And we saw a lot during the regular season as he gets back still from major elbow surgery. He'd have blips, and then he'd look like himself again. His first pitch to Victor Robles is in there. Strike one, a slider right on the edge. In his last start against the Yankees, he didn't get the chance to recover from a blip, but he more than likely will tonight. 0-1. Another breaking ball in there, and he's ahead of Robles, 0-2. That's 5 straight strikes to begin this inning. Robles, the right-handed hitting right fielder, 3 for 22 in the postseason. 0-2. Check swing. Did he go? He did, says Ben May from behind home plate. Strike three swinging on a slider outside. 2 down.
Well, it definitely looks like he's found something. Alejandro Kirk is clapping his hands right now, putting that bare hand into his glove. He knows that Shane Bieber is looking a little bit better than he did in that first inning. That's a great sign.
Looking for a confidence-boosting second. He offers home to J.P. Crawford. And the pitch is just a hair low. A miss by a fraction of an inch. 1-0. Crawford's the 9-hitter. Long-haired, left-handed hitting shortstop. 1-0 pitch. Foul tip.
Good velo. 94 with that four-seam fastball that was just off the plate. Got a swing and miss from J.P. Crawford.
Wide open stance Crawford. He twitches his lead right foot. And the 1-1. Inside. 2 balls and 1 strike.
Alejandro Kirk was throwing the baseball back to Shane Bieber, and I think it actually hit J.P. Crawford. That ball actually ended up in the glove of Andres Jimenez at shortstop.
Shades of the 2015 American League Division Series with Russell Martin and Shin-Soo Choo. A series where the Blue Jays went down 2-0 with 2 home losses and came back to win the series. 2-1. High and outside. 3 balls and 1 strike.
You don't want to lose J.P. Crawford. With the top of the order coming up, Randy Arozarena is standing on deck right now.
30-year-old Crawford awaits a 3-1. Called strike right at the top of the zone, maybe a hair above it. Crawford was getting ready to take off the shin guard, but he didn't take a step, so he's ready to go again on 3-2. 2 outs, base is empty. 2-0, and the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Shane Bieber punches out the side in the bottom of the second, and we'll see if that can spark the Blue Jays in Game 3 of the ALCS. 2-0 Mariners.
Great moments in baseball have been broadcast.
Ball bouncing into the corner. Ernie tears around first. He'll easily get into second with a first pitch leadoff double.
Well, that looks more like it. Ernie Clement getting that sinker at 96 on the inner third, a pitch that he really handles well. And what an important base hit, a double, a leadoff double with nobody out here in this third inning.
Should mention he doesn't only do it with the stick. Ernie Clement nominated for 2 Gold Gloves this year. He is both a finalist at third base and as a utility player. The second base finalist, and Andres Jimenez, is up now with the corners in and no one out. A lot of space on the left side of the infield for the left-handed hitter. Kirby kicks and deals. First pitch, swing and a foul back, 0-1.
It almost seems like the Seattle Mariners are expecting a sac bunt here with Ernie Clement standing at second with nobody out. And I wouldn't be shocked if that happens here, even with 1 strike.
They hardly move back after the swing. Naylor maybe a step or 2. Corners are still in, though, and the 0-1. Swing and a high drive. Right field. Robles racing back to the warning track. Looks up at the wall. It's gone. Andres Jimenez with a 2-run blast to tie the game in the third.
You have got to be kidding me. Andres Jimenez with one of the biggest swings of his life. The Seattle Mariners were expecting a sac bunt, and they got a 2-run home run. What a swing.
His first homer of the playoffs and his 8th regular season and postseason combined. A 400-foot moonshot over the Boeing sign in right center. It's 2-2 in the third. In 3 pitches this inning, the Blue Jays have tied the game.
2 really good swings. 2 of the best swings of this series so far. Now the Blue Jays have the top of the order up here still with nobody out in this inning.
It's a new ball game with 7 innings to go. 2-2 Blue Jays and Mariners. And the first pitch to George Springer inside, ball 1. Crowd's still loud, but a different tenor to it right now after that Jimenez swing. 1-0 pitch. Swing and a miss.
Well, I think it's a mixture of Blue Jays fans excited now and boos from Mariners fans trying to drown out those Blue Jays fans.
And if you don't know, this is not an easy place to hit home runs. Bottom 10 in baseball in that respect. The 1-1 pitch hit foul, 1-2. And that's over the last 3 years. It's been the 9th toughest place to hit homers in all of baseball. And Andres Jimenez just launched one out to right center. 1-2 to Springer. And he lifts it down the right field line. Long run, Victor Robles. Curling toward the corner, leaps toward the sidewall. What a catch, Victor Robles. Slammed his ribs into the sidewall about 5 feet high. And Robles grimacing, but got the reward for it. A nice catch for the first out of the third.
Yeah, what a play down there. The ribs ran into that short wall in foul territory. Hopefully he's okay. He looks like he's okay. Slowly walking back to his position over in right field. That's a big first out.
2-2 ball game. 1 out, bases empty. Top of the third. The pitch to Nathan Lucas. Outside, ball 1. Third baseman Suarez plays in. A lot of space on the left side because the rest of the infield shifts toward first. 1-0 pitch. Lucas serves it foul over the netting down the left field line and into the sea of blue. Different shades of it, but all blue at this ballpark. It's 1-1. And that's a bit of a mistake that Kirby just got away with, by the way. That was right down the middle with a slider. Right-handers 1-1. Lucas lines it right center field. That'll get down for a base hit. Cut off quickly by the speedy Rodriguez. Lucas has a single, and the Blue Jays have 3 hits in 4 batters this inning with Vladimir Guerrero Jr. coming up.
That was actually a pretty good pitch from George Kirby. It was 96 in on the hands in the strike zone. Nathan Lucas doing a good job ripping those hands through, finding a way to get it over second baseman Jorge Polanco. Didn't hit it all that hard, but got just enough to get it out to the outfield.
This is a big outfield. Potentially could play into the hand of a line drive hitting team like the Blue Jays. And before Vladimir Guerrero Jr. hits, Cal Raleigh's going to go out there and talk to his starter, Kirby.
Yeah, you want to slow the heart rate. It's been a tough inning for George Kirby. He's thrown a decent amount of pitches. And obviously the best hitter in this lineup is coming up to bat. He's standing near that batter's box. Nathan Lucas standing at first base. This is potentially the biggest situation that George Kirby will face in this start. So you want to go out there and make sure that game plan is on point.
George Kirby allowed a first pitch double in this inning to Ernie Clement. Followed that up by giving up an 0-1 homer to Jimenez on a middle four-seamer. George Springer flied out on a great play in foul territory from Victor Robles before Nathan Lucas lined a 1-1 pitch to right center field. Where that leaves us is 2-2 the score between the Blue Jays and Mariners. One out in the top of the third. Lucas on first, and as Kirby sets, Vladdy is at the plate. Right on right, the pitch from the stretch. Outside, ball one. Guerrero 1 for 1, had an infield hit on a Baltimore chop to third. It was thrown away by Eugenio Suarez, so he got up to second back in that first inning. Kick in the 1-0. Right there for a strike. Slider hung all over the middle of the plate, 1-1.
That's a pitch that Vladimir Guerrero Jr. hammers if he swings the bat. Didn't swing at it, though.
Checked his swing, but must have been looking for something else. 1-1 pitch. Swing and a deep line drive, hooking toward the left field fence. That's off the wall. Lucas up to third. Guerrero digging for second. Crawford holds it on the cutoff, and it's second and third. One out as Vladdy has doubled. 4 hits in 5 batters this inning.
Vladimir Guerrero Jr. missed a home run by about 3 feet, hit the top of that wall out in left field. The Blue Jays have runners at second and third now with just 1 out in this inning. Anthony Santander standing in that batter's box. 2 sliders in a row that hung over the plate from George Kirby. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. took the first one and then absolutely smoked the second one.
When you hang 2 sliders to Vladdy, a double's almost a good result getting out of it that way. Infield in now for the Mariners early in this game. Second and third, 1 out. The pitch to Anthony Santander. Swing and a miss. Fastball right on the inner edge of the zone, elevated at the hands, 0-1.
If you're Anthony Santander, you can't try to do too much. You have to get your pitch and try to lift something to the outfield.
Got good speed on third in Lucas, decent speed on second in Guerrero. 0-1 pitch. Down and in. Lunged forward, but held up his swing on a strike-to-ball slider, 1-1.
Yeah, that was a good take. Good pitch, too.
Tap of the opposite corner and then back corner of the plate for Anthony Santander, who awaits a 1-1. Here's the pitch. Outside. Near miss with a slider. It's 2-1. Left-sided infielders are right at the cut of the infield grass, a little deeper on the right side with Santander hitting left. 2-1. Foul back. Pretty good slider, landed just at the bottom or maybe a hair below the zone. Tipped away behind him. It's 2-2. And the fans on their feet here at T-Mobile Park trying to will George Kirby to get out of this jam. 2-2 game, 2-2 count, 1 out. Runners on second and third. Kirby's pitch. Low ball 3.
That's a great take. A really nice slider in the strike zone and then out of the strike zone. Anthony Santander obviously shortening up that swing a little bit, protecting, followed that baseball all the way in.
First base is open and a potential double play candidate is on deck in Alejandro Kirk. So Kirby doesn't have to throw something in the zone here on 3-2. Righty set, glove at his chest. And the payoff pitch. Hit on the ground to first. Naylor charges gloves, looks off the runner and goes to the bag. That was a 4-seamer middle in, but in enough that Santander couldn't get extended. That'll be the second out of the inning, keeping the runners on second and third. That's
a big out for George Kirby. A good pitch and a 3-2 count. Like you said, he didn't have to throw something in the strike zone, didn't have to challenge him, but he challenged him with that good hard fastball.
And he had thrown him 4 sliders in a row, so really changed it up there on Santander. Infield backs up, second and third, 2 outs. In a 2-2 game, Alejandro Kirk hits. Kirby's pitch. High, ball 1. A little outside maybe as well.
Josh Naylor, the first baseman, is playing exactly where he was playing last time Alejandro was up when he hit a good hard line drive that he caught.
Naylor made a leaping catch to take away a hit. Now the 1-0. Outside 2-0.
A couple of fastballs, not really close. I'm not sure if they're staying away from him. Looks like it. I don't know why they would do that, though, with Dalton Varsho coming up next.
Hitters count for Kirk. Expecting a strike here, the 2-0. Low ball 3. Perhaps they are staying away from him. That was a slider way down and away. But Kirk is not one to chase very often, so he's just stood in there and worked a 3-0 count.
Seems strange, but maybe that's what they're doing.
Kirk is a better high heater hitter than Dalton Varsho is. Despite Varsho being a lefty, maybe they like the matchup more. 3-0 pitch. Kirk takes a strike. Sinker right over the middle. I was wondering if they give him the green light. Looks like they didn't, considering how middle that pitch was. Still room to cash in runs. Guerrero on second, Lucas on third. 2 outs and a 2-2 score. The 3-1 pitch. Down and away, ball 4, and that walk will load the bases. Kirby spun away, looking up to the sky in frustration.
4 pitches in that at-bat that weren't close. And George Kirby has a good feel for the strike zone. Pitching coach Pete Woodworth is going to come out and have a chat with the whole infield right now. But George Kirby has a good feel for the strike zone. He has good command of all of his pitches, and that's why I said that they might be pitching around him there, because you really don't see him throw 4 pitches nowhere near the strike zone very often in one at-bat.
Entire Mariners infield on the mound now as slowly J.P. Crawford joins the fold. And Ben May, the home plate ump, walking out to break it up. If you weren't with us at the start of this inning, it was 2-0 Mariners headed into the top of the third. Ernie Clement hit the first pitch of the inning down the left field line for a double. 2 pitches later, Andres Jimenez, with his first postseason home run as a Toronto Blue Jay, launched a moonshot to right center to tie the game. After an out recorded on a George Springer fly ball, Lucas single, Guerrero double. There was a ground out by Santander and now a walk. So bases loaded, 2 outs, tie game, top of the third. The pitch to Dalton Varsho. Down and in, bounced away from Raleigh, who snatched it up with his bare hand to keep it from truly getting away, and he keeps Lucas on third. Good improvisation from the Platinum Glover, 1-0.
And now you're ahead in the count, 1-0. You're in a good hitter's count here. You know that George Kirby wants to throw strikes. The bases are loaded, so you have to be ready for your pitch here.
Kirby did almost hit Varsho with that back foot slider, almost became a literal back foot slider. Now the right-hander set. His 50th pitch of the start. Swing and a miss. It gets away from Raleigh to the backstop, and into score goes Nathan Lucas. Up to third, Guerrero. Into second, Kirk. It is 3-2 Blue Jays on a wild pitch.
You don't see that very often. Number one, you don't see George Kirby throw a breaking ball in the dirt almost in front of home plate, and generally speaking, you don't see Cal Raleigh let those pitches get by him. He didn't try to block that baseball, which is interesting. You have to get your chest protector in front of that ball and keep that run at third base. That is just a weird play all the way around.
Got a little handsy on that pitch in the dirt. Second and third now, and the 1-1 is drilled by Varsho to right. Racing back, Robles turns it off the fence. Into score, Guerrero. Kirk will score as well. Ball gets away from Robles, but Varsho stays at second with a 2-run double.
What a swing from Dalton Varsho. He got the elevated heater, and he smoked it. Another ball off the top of the wall. The second of the inning for the Toronto Blue Jays. Missed a home run by about 3 feet in right field. A couple more runs in this ballgame. 5-2 Toronto now. What an inning for them.
Dalton Varsho hit that 110 miles an hour. It raced its way to the fence and probably hit the wall about 2-3 feet from the top of it. Runner on second, 2 outs now, and the pitch to Addison Barger. It's hit on the ground to second. Polanco gets it on the edge of the infield, turned and throws to first to finally end that inning. The Blue Jays send all 9 batters to the plate and score 5 runs in the inning on 5 hits. Andres Jimenez tied it with a 2-run homer, then a wild pitch and a Dalton Varsho 2-run double. Make it 5-2, middle of the third. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball. On the corner, beautiful breaking ball. Maybe a bit of a break of a call from Ben May, who expands the outside edge of the zone, and Bieber gets ahead 0-2. 0-2 pitch, swing and a miss, strike three. He's punched out 4 in a row with perhaps a little help, but either.
And he's working really quickly, too. I like that. When a starting pitcher gets back on the rubber, that tells me that he feels really good out there.
For Shane Bieber, this is his 6th career start at T-Mobile Park. Previously, he's got a 1.5 ERA in near 30 innings. He faces Cal Raleigh, 1 out, bases empty, the pitch. Swing and a miss. Really nasty changeup right there at the bottom of the zone.
If you're going to throw another one of those, you have to get it out of the strike zone, below the strike zone.
Bieber kicks and deals. And the fastball's popped up. He points up in the air as it's near the mound. Ernie Clement coming in, and he'll make the catch on the infield grass. Very quickly, in 5 pitches, 2 outs in this bottom of the third. Still 5-2 Blue Jays.
And that was a great sequence to Cal Raleigh. You got that changeup down in the strike zone for strike 1, and then you threw the fastball at the top of the strike zone, got him to pop up. I mean, it doesn't seem like Shane Bieber is afraid of Cal Raleigh. Not surprising, but that's a good thing.
2 outs, the pitch to Julio Rodriguez. In there, strike 1. Rodriguez taken all the way, might have been a little bit rushed by the pace of Bieber. Julio hit the 2-run homer to start the scoring in this game in the first. 0-1. Outside, 1 ball and 1 strike. First ball of the inning for Bieber, who didn't throw a ball until getting to the third batter last inning as well. His 1-1. Swing and a miss. Rodriguez expands on his slider well off the plate. And Bieber hunting another strikeout ahead 1-2. Not typically a huge strikeout guy. Shane Bieber has 5 through 2 2/3. His wide. And the 1-2. Just off the plate, down and away. Pretty stingy take there from Rodriguez on the slider.
And Alejandro Kirk did a good job framing that pitch, making it look good. I thought that was actually a strike.
The 2-2. Swinging bunt up the third baseline. Charging Barger. Bare hand, and he won't throw. That's the smart play. Infield hit for Julio Rodriguez. Could see Kirk barking at Barger to hold on to that ball. Kirk points to Barger after the play, as that was going to be an infield hit no matter what.
Yeah, tough luck for Shane Bieber, who made another good pitch. A fastball in off the plate. Jams the batter, and unfortunately for him, he gives up the single that just trickles down that third base line. But you got to get to work here to Jorge Polanco, who's already doubled in this ball game.
Polanco was the last Mariner to reach before that infield hit from Rodriguez. 2 outs, runner on first. 5-2 Blue Jays, bottom 3. Right on left, the pitch to Polanco. Called strike. And before I say anything, I'm going to say I agree with you on this. But your key, one of them at least, is to get Cal Raleigh out. They might have to devote that same attention right now to Jorge Polanco. He's having the postseason of a lifetime. 0-1 pitch. And he hits it high in the air to center, but that'll stay in the yard. Varsho moving to right center, waves off Santander, makes the grab, and that's back-to-back scoreless frames for Shane Bieber. No runs, a hit, 1 left. We go to the 4th with the Blue Jays.
Great moments in baseball have been broadcast on the radio since 1920.
It was a sinker on the inner half he turned on. Eugenio Suarez at third place, close to the line. Kirby's pitch. Clement will take outside, ball 1. Mind the pitch count of George Kirby, just threw his 53rd. His last start, he threw 66. 1-0 pitch. Check swing, pitch down and away. Raleigh with no appeal, pump fakes and then throws it back to Kirby, 2-0.
And with two important ball games coming up, the Mariners are already down 3-0. It'll be interesting to see how Dan Wilson uses his bullpen.
2-0 pitch, called strike. You have to imagine Wilson looked at this game as a game that could win you the series.
Yep.
I mean, if the Mariners win tonight, there'll be a lot of 0-4 Red Sox talk back in Toronto. 2-1. Check swing on another slider down and away. 3-1. And we saw the Blue Jays in a true win and move on game in Game 3 be very aggressive with pitching in the ALDS. It's 5-2 Blue Jays here. 3-1 to Clement. Called strike. Herney tried to flip the bat away, but that one had the outer third of the zone for sure. It's 3-2. So pretty rare Ernie Clement at bat. He has not swung in 5 straight pitches. One of the more aggressive hitters in baseball. 3-2. Called strike 3. Fastball at the knees to get Clement. Never swung the bat in 6 pitches. He goes down. 1 out.
I'm not sure we've ever seen that. Ernie Clement go down looking on 6 pitches, worked himself into a full count, then took strike 3 on the outside part. It's a good pitch from George Kirby. But you have to swing the bat here, or swing the bat there in a 3-2 count.
First pitch to Andres Jimenez, who homered to tie the game last inning, and it's a strike on the outer edge with a slider. Launched an 0-1 pitch did Jimenez, 400 feet to right center. 0-1. Swing and a miss. Great pitch there from Kirby. A back foot slider gets the whiff. Jimenez down to a knee, and he'll ask for time. Just quickly on aggressive Mariners pitching. Note from our producer, Show Ali. Brian Wu has walked out to the Mariners bullpen in between innings, so potentially he could be available. 0-2 pitch. Jimenez grounds it foul. Now the only thing I'll say is the Blue Jays in Game 4 of the division series walked both Trey Savage and Kevin Gausman out to the bullpen, and then later admitted the entire thing was a hoax to throw off the Yankees, so you never know. 0-2 pitch. Foul back, still 0-2.
But the Blue Jays were never down by 3 runs in that game.
That's true. But I don't know if you're being up or down would make you want to use them more or less.
Right.
There's arguments both sides, I think. Could bring in Wu to stop this, but you might want to save him for when you have a lead. 0-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Back-to-back punch-outs for Kirby, and he is not looking like a guy who is short for this game right now. That's his 4th strikeout so far.
Yeah, he's really found it here in this 4th inning. The command is just a little bit better. The break on his slider is just a little bit better. Hasn't thrown many mistakes in this inning.
2 outs, bases empty, top of 4, and the pitch to George Springer is drilled. Center field and deep. Going back, Rodriguez. Warning track wall. Out of here. To a chorus of boos, George Springer comes around third and home. A solo homer, and it's 6-2 Blue Jays in the top of the 4th.
Well, George Springer is known to ambush first pitch fastballs. He got a first pitch fastball about thigh high right down the middle, and he hammered that thing over that fence in center field. What a swing from him, and an important run for the Toronto Blue Jays.
His 3rd home run of the postseason. And the pitch to Nathan Lucas now is inside, ball 1. The average hasn't always been there this postseason for Springer, but he's come up with big moments. 1-0. Lucas takes a strike.
You'll take a lower average with big swings like that.
100%.
All day long.
And for George Springer, he just tied Bernie Williams for 4th most playoff homers in Major League history. 1-1 swing and a miss. Lucas chased a curve low. It's 1-2. (6-2) Blue Jays. 2 outs, bases empty. Top of the 4th inning. And the 1-2. Swinging bunt first baseline. Kirby fields along the line, throws over Lucas. A nice play to get him at first. And end the top of the fourth. The Blue Jays add to their lead on a solo home run by George Springer. Middle of the fourth, 6-2 Toronto. You're listening. Will take that if he can get it here off Naylor. The right on left pitch. On the ground off of Naylor's right foot. It bounces toward the first baseline and rolls near the first base dugout. 0-1.
Right on cue. That was the changeup. 89 miles an hour. That's a hard changeup, especially when your fastball is only about 93 miles an hour. 4 miles an hour difference between the fastball and the changeup is not a lot.
It's a kick change. He spikes it with a finger, looks for a little more movement out of it. 0-1. Up and in with a heater. Former Guardian teammate Naylor ducks back out of the way. 1 ball, 1 strike.
I'm sure Josh Naylor's looking out at Shane Bieber right now. Come on, man. We're boys.
Glowing talk about Josh Naylor before this series, and Naylor hits the 1-1 on the ground to another former teammate, Ernie Clement, who picks it up off the knee and throws over to first. 1 out. And Ernie Clement had great things to say about Naylor. Andres Jimenez said he was one of the best players and one of the best people that he has played with in his career. Miles Straw, a very good friend of Naylor, actually went to Naylor's baby shower when he was in Toronto earlier this year with Arizona. And Bieber now deals to Eugenio Suarez. It's outside, ball 1. But not a lot of let's see each other after the game talk right now in the ALCS.
Yeah, I don't think so.
1-0 pitch, swing and a miss.
I don't think we'll see them hanging out down at Pike's Place.
Hey, it's Pike Place.
Pike Place. Sorry, I'm a tourist.
1 out, base is empty. The 1-1 to Suarez. And he pops it a mile high right side. And that'll go over the dugout, foul into the seats. 1-2. Well, yeah, Ty France, talked to him about that. He's not on the roster, but he's with the team right now. And he said, no, he can't really hang out with guys right now, even though a lot of the Mariners are holdovers from when he was last there. He said, so he's not trying to hang out with those guys, but he went to the mall briefly with his wife today and ran into J.P. Crawford by accident. So they did see each other. 1-2. Bounce to home plate. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Suarez still trying to get it going in the playoffs. 4 for 30, but so dangerous. 49 home runs. He could leave the yard at any time. Bieber has him in a 2-2 count. The wind and the pitch. On the ground at third, hit hard. A 2-hopper gobbled up by Barger. He throws to first, and there are 2 down. That was hit 100 miles an hour. Barger actually jumped back with the momentum, fielding that ground ball, but still made the play.
That was an absolute seed across the diamond from Addison Barger right to the chest of Vladimir Guerrero Jr. at first base. I'm always impressed, not only with the fielding ability down there, but with that arm. He loves to show it off, too.
One of the hardest throwing infielders. I know he does both technically, but infielders in baseball. Pitch to Dominic Canzone, high and outside, ball 1. Blue Jays 6, Mariners 2, bottom of the 4th. 2 outs and the base is empty. 1-0. Canzone rips it toward the camera well right side. I think that hit off one of the Fox cameras and ricocheted back into play. 1-1. 2 taps to the plate for the lefty hitter Canzone. 1-1 pitch. Fouled back into the foot of Kirk, or the lower leg at least. Ben May's going to give him a second, walking in front of home and flipping it out to Bieber. It's 1-2.
Another good changeup. Canzone was out in front of that pitch. Wouldn't be surprised if he throws another one here, but just in a better location. I think he missed his spot on that last one.
It was outside, but it was up. To finish off the frame, Bieber's 1-2 pitch. In the dirt, picked by Kirk, 2-2.
He did throw another changeup. I think it started as a ball out of the hand, though. An easier take from Canzone.
At least a little bit safer, though, as it was below the knees. It was 90 on the change, by the way. Mustache righty shakes aside, brings the glove up into the wind. The 2-2. Hooked on the ground toward first. It's foul. Eric Young Jr., the first base coach for the Mariners, picking it up on a nice defensive play. He'll flip it to the fans in Seattle. It's still 2-2.
Still got it over there.
Oh, yeah. One of 2 Eric Youngs that's a first base coach in the same division. Eric Young, senior of the Angels, if I'm not mistaken. Infield shift toward first. 2-2 count to the lefty hitter Canzone, and another pitch from Bieber. Popped up, left side, slicing toward foul territory, charging Lucas onto the dirt, and he reached and just couldn't reel it in. Now slams into the sidewall and tumbles into the netting. He's all right there. He might have actually overran it slightly, because I don't think he could have gone into a slide. I think that was over his right shoulder, and that's why he tried to reach up to get it.
That's a really tough play, especially when you're looking at the baseball. You know that short wall down there in foul territory is right there. Obviously, that's in the back of your mind. Nathan Lucas with a heck of a try down there, just couldn't come up with it.
Good news is he's all right, a guy who's already dealing with a pretty bruised knee after fouling a ball into his knee in Game 1 of the series. Not going to get him off the field right now, though. Here's another 2-2 pitch. Canzone lines it foul, battling here. Canzone was all over that back foot curve, and he'll force this to an 8th pitch in the at-bat.
Shane Bieber just threw his 62nd pitch of the ball game. Keep in mind, in his last start, he only threw 54.
2-2 again. Swing and a miss. He got him. Bieber strikes out Canzone. Fist bumps and spins off the hill. It's a 1-2-3. Bottom of the 4th inning. We go on to the 5th. Blue Jays 6, Mariners 2. Game 3 of the American League Championship. In the fifth, 2 for 2 today with a single, a double, and a run scored. Kirby bounced back from a tough third for a nice fourth. We'll see what he has here in the fifth. His pitch. Vladdy hits it high in deep center field. Moving back, Rodriguez at the warning track. Leaps at the fence. Did he get it? He did not. It's gone. Home run. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. And it's 7-2 Blue Jays in the fifth.
Just another mistake from George Kirby. This time a spinning slider over the heart of the plate. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. actually didn't get all of it. Got it off the end of the bat just a little bit, but was able to get it just over that outstretched glove of Julio Rodriguez in center field. I actually thought he caught it.
I mean, he's liable to take anything back, Julio Rodriguez. Guerrero hit that 106 off the bat. And yeah, if he had hit it 105, Julio probably makes the catch just barely. It got out of his reach. Vladdy's fourth homer of the postseason. 7-2 Blue Jays. No outs, top of the fifth. The pitch to Anthony Santander. High ball one. And as I take stock again around T-Mobile Park, feels like a nighttime game now. Lights are on. Sun is pretty much down. And the Blue Jays looking to add to their lead. 1-0 to Santander. Outside, 2-0.
It is a pretty place to watch a baseball game. If you've never been here for the Seattle Mariners-Toronto Blue Jays matchup, even in the regular season, you need to get here.
Hitters count Santander. 0 for 2 in the game. The nod and the 2-0. Called strike. In a moment, we'll flash over to the St. Louis Bar and Grill out-of-town scoreboard. No other games going on in Major League Baseball today, but there are 4 games we can check on in the NHL as the 2-1 misses outside 3-1. Tap of the plate on the outer edge by Santander. Switch hitter batting left. Looks out to Kirby. Righties 3-1. High and outside, ball 4. Big miss with a slider. Hits a 1-out walk to Anthony Santander.
Good at bat from Anthony Santander. Obviously, he's had a couple of at bats early in this ball game that didn't go according to plan, but looked like he was seeing the baseball there during that at bat.
Well, we were going to go to the St. Louis Bar and Grill out-of-town scoreboard, but that's going to be it for George Kirby. No outs recorded in the top of the 5th inning. Means it's time for a pitching change, brought to you by Home Hardware, the official home improvement retailer for the Toronto Blue Jays. Locally owned, genuinely Canadian. Kirby still gets some applause coming off the field on a tough night for him. Blue Jays up 7-2. No outs and a runner on top.
Great moments in baseball have been broadcast on the radio since 1921.
Smith corks one into right down the line. It may go. Go crazy, folks. Go crazy. It's a home run, and the Cardinals have won the game by the score of 3-2 on a home run by the Wizard. Go crazy.
Catch the next unforgettable call on the MLB app and MLB.com.
Let's see if we can figure out the following baseball slang term. Today's phrase is Oppo Taco. Do you know what it means? Oppo Taco, a home run hit to the opposite field.
Austin Hayes with an Oppo Taco. His 13th, and it's a one-run game.
Expand your vocabulary by listening to every game on the MLB app and MLB.com.
Hard thrower, big tumbling sinker is what he's going to try to use here to get Alejandro Kirk to hit to maybe a ground ball double play.
We saw him a couple of days ago. He did throw 2 clean innings, walked 1, struck out 1 in those 2 innings through 36 pitches just a couple of days ago.
Sits 98 on the heater, but he's not really trying to punch you out. He's trying to get you to drive something into the dirt. First pitch, Kirk checks his swing, takes up and in with a cutter, ball 1. It's been a nice night for Kirk at the plate. He's 0 for 1, but he shot a liner that got caught on a leaping catch at first by Naylor, and then he walked in the third and scored. 1-0 pitch, hit on the ground, up the middle, past the dive of Crawford into center. Up to second goes Santander, and about 6 inches separated that from being a single or a double play ball. For Kirk, he's lucky that it was 6 inches the right way, and it's first and second, no outs.
That was actually a good pitch from Vargas. 97 down in the strike zone, a really nice sinker. Now the Blue Jays have a chance to tack on a couple more here. Runners at first and second, with still nobody out in this inning. It's a good sign, though, that Alejandro Kirk is starting to use the big part of the field. I love when he does that.
7-2 Blue Jays, first and second, no outs. Dalton Varsho up. He ripped a 2-run double in the third. The pitch, swing and a miss. 98 with sink, ran away from the barrel of Varsho, 0-1. Santander on second. Kirk on first, and Varsho asks for time. A point at him from Ben May to grant it. Varsho's double in the third. His 4th double to go along with 2 homers in his 8 hits so far. 6 of them have gone for extra bases. 0-1 down and in. And he's hitting .333 in the playoffs in 24 at-bats.
He's been good.
The 1-1. Called strike, upper level of the zone with a sinker, and Varsho now behind in the count, 1-2.
Oh, and by the way, that sinker was 98 with a ton of sink.
Vargas set, kicks and deals. And Varsho spoiled back pretty much the same pitch, although this time it was 99 at the top of the zone, again with sink. It's going to be the sinker about 2/3 of the time for the long-haired righty Vargas. Slider, cutter every once in a while as well. He rocks and deals. And Varsho lifts it back of second. Polanco under it, and the infield fly rule is in effect. Polanco, even though he's in the outfield, makes the catch on an infield fly, and the runners remain at first and second. Varsho was already out, one down.
Now big at bat coming up for Addison Barger. That's an important run standing out at second base. You want to get as many runs as you can, like I talked about earlier. This is a very good Seattle Mariners offense. You have to get as many runs. If you have a chance to score, you have to score.
They can erase a 5-run deficit quickly. The pitch to Addison Barger, down and in, ball one. Runner on second, Santander, is still Kirby's responsibility. The man on first, Kirk, is owed to Carlos Vargas. Barger 0 for 2 in the game. The pitch. And he pops it foul, third base side. Racing over, long runner Rosarena makes the catch actually in fair territory, just inside the line. Runners remain on first and second, and there are 2 outs. So Carlos Vargas has come in and, for the most part, done the job so far. Gave up a single, but back-to-back outs in the air that have not been able to advance the runners even from first and second. And up at the plate now is Ernie Clement. 7-2 Blue Jays, 2 on, 2 out. Top of the 5th inning, under the lights in Seattle. The pitch. Swinging a liner, headed to right, down for a base hit. Santander getting a big wave from Carlos Fabulous. The throw from right is cut off, going to third. Kirk Naylor throws to third to get him, but the run will score. Robles to Naylor to Suarez to get Kirk out trying to go first to third, but Ernie Clement with an RBI single makes it 8-2 Blue Jays as we go to the bottom of the 5th. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming at...
Let's see if you can figure out the following baseball slang term. Today's phrase is Oppo Taco. Do you know what it means? Oppo Taco, a home run hit to the opposite field.
Austin Hayes with an Oppo Taco, his 13th, and it's a 1-run game.
Expand your vocabulary by listening to every game on the MLB app and MLB.com.
Great moments in baseball have been broadcast on the radio since 1921.
Smith corks one into right, down the line. It may go. Go crazy, folks. Go crazy. It's a home run, and the Cardinals have won the game by the score of 3-2 on a home run by the Wizard.
to run hard all the way to home plate because you don't know what's going to happen on the base pass. Alejandro Kirk was thrown out at third base.
First pitch to Victor Robles up and in, ball one. And now Santander will get a breather. They make a defensive substitution to the Blue Jays. Miles Straw in right. Second pitch to Robles. Check swing, and it's down and away. Appeal to first, and they call it a swing, so it's 1-1. So Miles Straw has jumped in to right field, to left field. And Nathan Lucas bounces to right. Santander is out. 1-1 swing and a miss. It's 1-2. So Straw in left again and Lucas in right. Straw now hits in the cleanup spot. 1-2 pitch to Robles. And it's a humpback liner to second in a jog. Ernie Clement makes the catch off to the left. And there's one out. J.P. Crawford up, and we'll go over to the St. Louis Bar and Grill out-of-town scoreboard. In a similar situation to the Blue Jays, the Milwaukee Brewers have to go to L.A. to take on the Dodgers tomorrow, down in the series 2 games to Los Angeles. Pitch to J.P. Crawford, hit foul, 0-1. And if you were going to pick a place that might compare in decibel level to Seattle, Dodger Stadium is always loud, let alone when they are 2 wins away from reaching another World Series.
I feel like every place...
Line drive on the 0-1, and that gets up the middle, just past the dive of Andres Jimenez. J.P. Crawford at first with a single.
I feel like every place that... Every team that's in the playoffs still, the building is a tough place to play. Milwaukee's a tough place to play. Toronto, Seattle, L.A. A lot of fun atmosphere so far still left in the playoffs.
And that base hit got the Mariner crowd back into it. 8-2 Blue Jays, 1 out, bottom 5. It's the first base hit to the outfield for Seattle since the first. Randy Arozarena up. Bieber kicks and deals. Pitch is upstairs at 91. Ball 1. If he's looking for contact on the ground, changeup is one of Bieber's best pitches to do that. His 71st offering of the game. Just outside with a slider, 2-0.
And you don't want to lose a Arozarena with Cal Raleigh standing on deck. Even with a 6-run lead, you want to pound that strike zone right now. Come right at him.
No lead, too big when you're playing the Mariners. 2-0 pitch. Called, strike, slider over the middle. Arozarena bent the knee but didn't fire the hands on a hittable pitch. 2-1. Our out-of-town scores and news updates are brought to you by St. Louis Bar and Grill. 8-2 Blue Jays in Seattle. The kick and the pitch. Down and away. 3 balls and 1 strike. Arozarena can get big here if he wants in a hitter's count. Crawford on first, 1 out. And Cal Raleigh looming on deck. Bieber's 3-1. On the ground toward third. Barger waits on it. Gloves. Throws to second one. Clement zips to first. Offline. I think it was late anyway. Vladdy popped off the bag. Arozarena safe at first. A fielder's choice. And there are 2 outs.
That was a really impressive turn. A perfect throw from Barger to second base. And then Ernie Clement showing off the quick hands. Didn't get a ton on the throw, but got it out of there really, really quickly. Arozarena too quick, though, at first base.
So Bieber will face Cal Raleigh this inning with a runner on first and 2 outs. Randy Arozarena taking his lead. 8-2 Blue Jays in the bottom of the 5th. And the pitch. Outside, ball 1. Raleigh 0 for 2. A fly out to left field and a pop up to second base. Popped up. Foul territory, first base side. Kirk ditching his mask. Vladdy crashing forward, and that one hits off the top of the Mariner dugout and bounces into the fans. 1 ball, 1 strike.
That's about the highest foul ball I've seen all season. That is a big league pop-up off the bat of Cal Raleigh.
He's got monstrous power. We knew that coming into this year, coming off back-to-back 30-homer seasons. No way did people predict he'd reach 60 homers, most by a catcher in a season. beating Salvador Perez. Most by a Mariner in a season, beating Ken Griffey Jr. Most by a switch hitter in a season, beating Mickey Mantle. The 1-1. Just outside. Probably could have gone either way on that changeup. They call it ball 2.
Another good changeup. Has a really good feel for that pitch tonight.
2-1 count with a runner on first, 2 outs. Bieber from the stretch. On the ground toward first, and Vladdy picks it up foul like a wide receiver. He was trying to keep his toes in fair territory. Unfortunately, that's not how it works in baseball. 2-2.
Yeah, Vlad's got a little bit of a smirk on his face over there, trying to steal one. Like you said, that's not how it works in baseball. Mason Fluharty's actually getting loose down there in that Blue Jays bullpen.
Blue Jays up 8-2. Bieber approaching 80 pitches, asks for a new baseball. Tap of the plate, pinwheel the bat from Raleigh. Switch hitter batting left with 2 outs and a runner on. Bieber's 2-2. He got him. Elevated fastball to punch out Raleigh and end the 5th. 7 Ks in 5 innings, a 2-run ball for Shane Bieber. He gives up a hit and strands one in that bottom of the 5th. And we go on to the 6th inning. 8-2 Blue Jays, game 3 of the championship series. You're listening to Blue Jays.
Let's see.
Rip back foul. That was right over the middle, and another healthy hack from Andres Jimenez, whose 2-run homer in the 3rd kick-started this whole night for the Blue Jays.
That swing right there looks like he's going for home run number 2 in this ball game.
0-1. Swing and a bouncing ball left side under the reach of Suarez into left field. Hey, Eugenio Suarez was playing in on the infield grass, didn't have as much time to react to it, and for the second time they play him to bunt, and Jimenez comes up with a hit.
Well, there was a big hole on the right side of the infield. J.P. Crawford was shaded up the middle, and Eugenio Suarez was in expecting that bunt. Andres Jimenez knew that. There was a fastball down and away, and he just tried to massage it through that hole. A really smart approach there from him.
George Springer about to hit for the Blue Jays, waiting on Ben May, who needs new baseballs. They kind of ambling around, but now he gets back behind home plate. Jimenez on first, nobody out, Springer up. Blue Jays have only stolen one base, even attempted it this postseason, and it was Andres Jimenez. First pitch to Springer, bottom of the zone at 99, strike one. Springer 1 for 3 now in the game with a solo homer in the fourth. I mean, it's 6-2 at the time. 0-1. And he lifts the ball, shallow right field line. Running in, Robles. It's down in front of him in fair territory. From first to third goes Andres Jimenez. Springer races back to first base as the throw goes into second. A dunked-in bloop single for George Springer. And the Blue Jays have cornered Carlos Vargas with nobody out.
Andres Jimenez read that perfectly. He froze for a split second, turned around, realized that Victor Robles would not catch that baseball, and he was off to the races. First and third now with nobody out here in this inning.
Carlos Vargas dumping away the ball, and I think this might be his night. Dan Wilson out to take the baseball and make a pitching change. Brought to you by Home Hardware, the official home improvement retailer for the Toronto Blue Jays. Locally owned, genuinely Canadian. After back-to-back singles to start the inning, first and third, nobody out. 8-2 Blue Jays in the top of the sixth. Let's go back to baseball.
Great moments in baseball have been broadcast on the
Mariners. 6 runs is not insurmountable right now for the Mariners. You got to cash in. Left on left, the pitch to Lucas with Suarez in at third. And it's a swinging bunt up the first baseline. Jimenez takes off for home. Naylor gloves. He'll tag out Lucas. Springer up to second. An RBI ground out by Nathan Lucas. And it's 9-2 Blue Jays in the top of the 6th.
I don't think Andres Jimenez was off on contact, but as soon as he saw that ball was just trickling down the first base line, he took off and got home pretty easily. A smart play from him over there at third base.
And Vladimir Guerrero Jr. not going to get the chance to hit with a runner on second and 1 out. They intentionally walk Vladdy, who's a triple away from the cycle. And part of the reason they do this, the Blue Jays made defensive subs, so Miles Straw is up right now rather than Anthony Santander. Cal Raleigh out in front of home plate, went to the pitch comm to signal his defense about what to do in case of a double steal, most likely. Miles Straw unlikely to bunt here with one out. First and second, 9-2 lead, top of the sixth. Ferguson deals home to Miles Straw. In the dirt, blocked by Raleigh, ball one. Lefty Ferguson sits in the mid-90s with his four-seam fastball. He'll also throw his cutter and sinker plenty and mix in a slurve. He's pretty even on all four of his pitches. High set for the lefty. And the 1-0. Down and in, 2-0.
A couple of easy takes from Miles Straw. First two pitches from Ferguson, really nowhere near the strike zone. The first one bounced, and that one almost bounced.
For Straw, his 7th at-bat of the postseason. 2 for 6 so far with that big RBI in New York. 2-0. Called strike. And it's not that different of a situation right now. I mean, a score and part of the series different, but if you're Miles Straw, infield is about halfway in. First and second, you're just trying to get it past the infield like he did in New York. 2-1 pitch. Straw lifts it foul right side, and that has enough spin on it to slice out of play. 2-2.
Ferguson does have good velocity out of that left arm. 94, 95 with the fastball so far in this outing.
I mean, it's not an accident if you're picked up at different points in your career by the Dodgers, the Yankees, the Astros, and now the AL West champion Mariners. 2-2. Hit back foul again. Oh, this is a guy who was picked in the 38th round at a high school by the Dodgers, and they convinced him to sign. Now pitching in his 7th big league season. Southpaw's 2-2 pitch to Miles Straw. Swing and a miss, strike three. Ran the Cunner in on him. A nice pitch, and there are 2 outs in the inning.
That was a tough pitch. Really awkward swing from Miles Straw. Showed off some of that good stuff. That cutter, maybe in between a slider and a cutter, had a lot of movement on the inside part.
Still work to do for Ferguson even after the punch-out. Alejandro Kirk to the plate with Springer on second and Guerrero on first. Blue Jays up 9-2. Ferguson's pitch. Low ball one. There was the slurve from Ferguson at 80. Kirk with a line out, a walk, a hit, and a run scored. Waits on a 1-0 and takes it for a strike, 1-1. It was 2-0 Mariners in this game after the first inning homer, but right now the Blue Jays on a run of 9 consecutive runs scored, lead it 9-2. 1-1 pitch. Kirk hits it high and deep right field. Racing back, Robles at the fence, climbs the wall. It is gone! Make it a dozen for the Blue Jays on a 3-run homer from Alejandro Kirk. He hits it the other way for his 3rd home run of the postseason, and the Blue Jays lead 12-2.
That's how you know Alejandro Kirk is feeling good, going the other way, going up the middle. He gets that fastball almost off the plate outside at about 95 miles an hour, and he hammers it the other way just beyond that fence for a 3-run home run and a 12-2 Toronto Blue Jays win. Sorry, lead.
Easy there, Cowboy. We're in the 6th inning. 2 outs. Dalton Varsho up in the pitch. Called strike. Well, the Blue Jays, who scored 4 runs in the first 2 games of the series, have 12 here in about 6 innings. And now Varsho lines a ball. That's sinking. That's down in center field. And Dalton Varsho has a 2-hit night.
And not only do they have 12 runs, but they have 14 hits.
Well, it's funny because they've hit 4 homers, so that's That's actually not typically Blue Jay baseball, although they homered like crazy in the DS. But they've also done what Varsho just did, taken advantage of the big outfield, been on base a lot, hit a lot of line drives. And all of a sudden, the Blue Jays and Mariners have both hit 5 home runs in this series. Addison Barger up, 0 for 3 in the game. The pitch, down and away, ball 1. Blue Jays have scored in 4 straight innings, with 5 in the 3rd and 4 in the 6th so far as the bookends. 1-0. Swing and a miss. Barger going forward, all missed there. 1-1.
Yeah, going for home run number 6. That was a big swing on that sinking fastball, 94. Down and in, just below that barrel.
Lone Blue Jay yet to reach. 1-1. Called strike. Over the middle with a fastball was Ferguson. 1-2. A 12-2 Blue Jay advantage with a runner on first in the top of the 6th. 2 outs. Ferguson sets. Brings the glove up. And his 1-2 pitch. Swing and a grounder. Hooked to first. Naylor will throw to and he bounced it, but Crawford made the pick. Naylor forgot how many outs there were, but the Mariners get out of the inning regardless. Blue Jays score 4, capped off by an Alejandro Kirk 3-run opposite field smash, and it's 12-2 Blue Jays, middle of the 6th. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control.
Great moments in baseball have been broadcast on the radio since 1921.
Bieber shakes aside. Now he nods. Brings the glove to his face, the wind, and the pitch. Called strike. In terms of managing your arms, this is the most important stretch of the series. 0-1 pitch swung on it, missed. Beautiful change, ran in. 0-2. because you play 3 straight games without an off day. You wouldn't do that in a 5-game series, but you are right now, and you can't look further ahead than these last 12 outs if you're the Blue Jays. But up 10 runs, you can stick with Shane Bieber for certain. 0-2. Down and away, 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Yeah, if he feels good, if he goes back in that dugout, let's say after this inning, and at about 90 pitches, 92 pitches, he feels good, I'm sure John Schneider will think about throwing him back out there for another couple of outs.
This 1-2 pitch just outside. Rodriguez actually stumbled as he was holding up on the swing. 2-2.
Mason Fluharty was warming up down in that Blue Jays bullpen. It doesn't look like he's warming up anymore.
2-2. Inside, did that hit him? No, but it got close. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Rodriguez is 2 for 2 in this game. Infield single and a 2-run homer. Payoff pitch. Swing and a miss. He got him. He strikes out Rodriguez on a cutter over the middle, and even the mistakes are going well for Shane Bieber tonight.
Yeah, that was a mistake. A little spinner on the outer third, but Julio Rodriguez was thinking something differently. Probably thought a fastball was coming, especially in a 12-2 ball game, and he was out in front of that cutter for strike 3.
8 strikeouts now for Bieber, his second most in a Blue Jay uniform to his debut in Miami. 1 out, Jorge Polanco up. Right on left the pitch. Swing and a miss. Towering knuckle curveball. Got a big whiff from the switch hitter batting left. And now Polanco asks for time, steps out. Bieber turned his back toward the plate, looked out beyond center field. It's dark skies overhead now. Lights are bright at T-Mobile Park. 0-1. On the ground, left side, racing to his right. Jimenez backhands, throws over to first in time. What a play. Andres Jimenez had to range a long way and throw a long way to get Polanco 2 outs.
What a fantastic play. He was playing up the middle, so he backhanded that ball where a shortstop would normally be playing. But how about that throw across the diamond right to the chest of Vladimir Guerrero Jr., just getting Jorge Polanco by about a half a step at first base.
Jimenez, one of the 6 Blue Jays Gold Glove finalist nominations announced today. That was at second base, but he has shown over the last month or so that he can do it at short as well. 2 outs, bottom of the 6th inning, and the pitch to Josh Naylor. Hit on the ground sharply, backhanded by Guerrero down to a knee. Spins, flips to Bieber. He had to jump to reel it in, but he lands on the bag to end the bottom of the 6th. Shane Bieber only uses 8 pitches to pitch a 1-2-3 bottom of the 6th. Then we roll on to the 7th in Seattle. 12-2 Blue Jays, Game 3 of the American League Championship Series.
Let's see if you can figure out the following baseball slang term.
similar sentiment, as did Jeff Hoffman yesterday. Ernie Clement leading off against Caleb Ferguson, top of the 7th. In the pitch, swing and a miss. An interesting thing I thought Bassett said today, too, was he said part of the reason they can remain confident is they don't feel like they played their game in the first 2 games. Ferguson's 0-1. Check swing, it was in the dirt. Appeal down to first. He did go, says Marvin Hudson, 0-2.
You know what? I tend to agree. That's a great statement, just because they were completely different in those 2 games than they had been really for the majority of the season, and that would give me a ton of confidence as well as a player.
Yeah, he said if we play our game, we know we can win. We just didn't do it in the first 2 games. I think they felt especially in game 2. 0-2. Clement checks his swing. That one in the dirt. They won't appeal that time. 1 ball and 2 strikes. And they played the home run game today, too, which is not always their game. They've hit 4 homers, a lot of really big ones, including the Andres Jimenez game-tying homer in the 3rd. 1-2. Clement pops it back foul, headed in our direction, and it will land in the second deck, just a little bit below our feet and off to the right. Still 1-2.
And they missed hitting another 2 home runs by maybe a combined 5 feet.
Yeah, Vladdy could have 2 today. He has 1, and Varsho easily could have 1. 1-2. Bounced in front of home. And that's on a cold night in a ballpark that is not exactly homer happy in the best of days either.
I tell you what, though, it is not cold up here. We have a heater underneath our desk. It is fantastic.
Feels like California to you. The kick and the 2-2. Clement rips it on the ground foul. Still 2 balls and 2 strikes. Probably will get lost a little bit in the shuffle, but you can credit, I think you credit Bieber coming out, striking out the side in the 2nd, calming the game down, and then Ernie Clement hit the first pitch of the 3rd down the left field line for a double. That started everything. Clement 2 for 3 in the game, and the 2-2 pitch is grounded foul again.
Let's not forget that after that Julio Rodriguez home run, Jorge Polanco ripped a double into the gap.
And that wasn't so far from the fence. I mean,
Right.
we're talking about near-miss homers. Polanco got into that one pretty good, too. Now, this game could have gotten out of hand quickly in favor of the Mariners, and now it's 12-2 Blue Jays in the 7th. Leadoff hitter Clement faces an 8th pitch. And he hits it high in the air, left field, but playable for Arozarena, who backing up makes the catch about 10-15 feet from the warning track. 1 out.
Another pretty good swing from Ernie Clement. He struck out on 6 pitches without swinging the bat. That was kind of strange earlier on in the ball game, but he's got the double, the single, that good contact there. He's looked pretty good tonight.
Speaking of, Andres Jimenez hit the 2-run homer to start the scoring, had a single last inning, and came around to score. He's 2 for 3. Left-on-left matchup with Ferguson. Southpaw's pitch. Hit on the ground, foul through the legs of Carlos Fabos. Third base coach with some quick moves to get out of the way of it. He's getting chirped a bit by the Blue Jays third base dugout, and Jimenez chuckling at him. It's 0-1.
Braden Fisher is warming up. He's getting pretty hot down there in that bullpen, so that tells me that Shane Bieber is likely done.
A 1-pitch high, 1 ball, and 1 strike. For most of the Blue Jay pen, they went once in the last 2 games, and they had multiple days off before, so it's not like anyone's really tired right now. 1-1. Line drive, left center, and down for a base hit. Andres Jimenez loops it over J.P. Crawford to go to 3 for 4.
That has to feel good if you're Andres Jimenez. Didn't get all of that baseball, but you could tell that he was trying to go the other way, just muscled that thing over the outstretched glove of J.P. Crawford. What a day from him, 3 for 4.
George Springer up to the plate for the Blue Jays. Big day for him. 2 for 4. Solo homer, single, 2-run score. The pitch. And he hits it back foul 0-1. Mentioned before that Springer has now tied Bernie Williams for the 4th most homers in Major League postseason history. If he hits another one, he'll tie Kyle Schwarber for 3rd most. Only Jose Altuve and Manny Ramirez are in front. Ramirez with 29 is the all-time leader. 0-1. Called strike. And should be said when you look at that list, the huge caveat that there are far more series in the postseason than there used to be. Not to take anything away from Springer or Schwarber or Altuve, but Babe Ruth was not necessarily playing in as many series to get to the World Series. 0-2. Line drive foul over the netting right side. Still 0-2.
Well, he was also busy pitching.
At times, early. But yeah, it's fair. This guy, George Springer, has done it for a long time at a high level, and he continues to. 3 homers in this playoff run alone. They're still booing him. Here's the 0-2. And he takes it near the back foot, gets away from the catcher, Raleigh, and Jimenez on a dirt ball read advances to second. That'll be a wild pitch. Springer actually told him to hold up, but Jimenez had already bounced off for a secondary and seen that pitch was low, so he's in scoring position with 1 out.
I'm sure there's people out there that would think, oh, you're up by 10 runs. Why are you trying to take second base? This is the playoffs. Yeah, you take every single base you can, even if it's 12-2 in the 7th inning.
The only rules in the playoffs are written. The unwritten rules are out the window. 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Good fastball up in the zone on the inner half, and Springer strikes out. 2 down.
That was a tough sequence. Fastball up after a good breaking ball in the dirt. It's tough to catch up to, especially at 95 miles an hour from Ferguson.
So 2 outs in the inning. And a runner on second base, Andres Jimenez. Nathan Lucas to the plate. He's 1 for 4. The pitch on the ground to second, moving to his right. Polanco's got it. He stops and throws to first to end the top of the 7th and send us to the stretch. Blue Jays with no runs on a hit, 1 left. First time they have.
Great moments in baseball have been broadcast on the radio since.
Right-hander looks in at Eugenio Suarez. And the pitch. Up and in with a fastball at 94. Ball 1. Four-seamer, cutter, slider, curve for Braden Fisher. 1-0. Swing and a miss. Comes back with a nasty slider outside, and Suarez chased 1-1. Rookie right-hander set just above the belt. Kicks and deals. Suarez lines the ball out to left, and it's sinking down in front of Miles Straw. A base hit. Four-seamer, upper middle of the zone. Eugenio Suarez got on plane with it, and he ripped it for his 5th hit of the postseason in 32 at-bats.
As much as you want to get Suarez out there, I take that all day long. You're not trying to nibble up 10 runs. You're trying to pound that strike zone. If the Seattle Mariners are able to get base hits like that, especially a guy that can hit home runs, had 49 home runs this season, you tip your cap, you move on to the next guy, and you try to get him out.
Dominic Canzone's that next guy, in the first pitch down and in, ball 1. Let's return quickly to the night of Shane Bieber, who punched out Canzone twice tonight en route to 6 innings of 4-hit, 2-run ball, a walk and 8 Ks. That line already impressive, and then you factor in that he gave up the two of his 4 hits and 2 runs in the first. Fisher misses high and outside, 2-0 to Canzone. It all looked like it was falling apart in the first 4 batters, and then all of a sudden he completely shut down Seattle.
Yeah, you have to imagine, even though he is a veteran, that heart rate, the nerves were a bit of a factor in that first inning.
2-0 pitch hit back foul, 2-1.
He looked shaky. He gave up that home run. That was a mistake pitch to Julio Rodriguez. Really, after that mistake pitch, he didn't make any mistakes after that. Located, executed the game plan. The changeup was really good. The fastball velocity was up to 94 miles an hour. I loved what I saw from Shane Bieber today.
2-1. Line drive right side, and it hooks into the side, netting foul. For Shane Bieber, the 8 Ks were the most he's had in his 5 career postseason starts. Second most he's had in a Blue Jay uniform. And, he's pitching to continue his Blue Jay career. It's not known whether he will opt in or opt out of his player option. 2-2 pitch. On the ground is second. Clement charges. Backhand and flip. Jimenez 1. Throw on to first for a 4-6-3 double play. 2 outs, and the base is wiped clean.
That's best case scenario if you're Braden Fisher. You give up the base hit, and then you break a bat. You get 2 quick outs. How about that? You're up by 10 in the 7th inning. I mean, this kid has been unbelievable. This is his rookie season. He's pitching in the ALCS, and he just got an easy double play on a broken bat. I mean, just incredible.
He admitted to me 2 days ago, ALCS, a lot different than pitching in the ALDS. First pitch to Robles, swing and a miss, strike 1. And he said it sounds funny, but when you get to the DS, the World Series is a very abstract thing still. And once you get to the CS, you can see it. It's right there in front of you. 0-1. Check swing, pitch down and away, appeal to first. No swing, says Marvin Hudson. Pitched in the 8th inning of the clincher in Game 4 of the DS. And now he's here in the 7th inning of Game 3 of the CS. The 1-1. Robles holds back on a breaking ball low. 2 balls and 1 strike.
Where was he this time last year? Probably, I guess he was at home. The AAA season was over.
Yeah, he would have wrapped up a year in Buffalo.
It's pretty cool.
The year that he finished in Buffalo. 2-1. Lifted over the mound, maybe just off to the left of it. Jimenez at short makes the catch on the dirt to end the inning. Fisher gives up a leadoff single, but then quickly faces the minimum because of a ground ball double play and a pop-up. On to the 8th we go.
Great moments in baseball have been broadcast on the radio.
Ball games, 14 and a third innings pitched, struck out 17.
Had a big run with the Braves as part of the night shift in 2021. That was about the peak of his career thus far. He's in his 10th season. 34-year-old's pitch. And Vladdy shoots a line drive to right center, a base hit. Hits into the gap, splitting Rodriguez and Robles and rolling to the wall. Guerrero rounds second. He thought about third, but pulls up. He was a triple away from the cycle, but that will have to wait.
The first two games of this series, he looked unsure and he looked in between. He doesn't look like that guy tonight. He looks locked in. The timing is almost perfect. He's using the big part of the field, and he's squaring up pitches. This is a great sign for John Schneider and the Toronto Blue Jays.
That's the 5th time Guerrero's been on base tonight. 4 for 4. Single, 2 doubles, a homer, plus an intentional walk. Pitch to Miles Straw, down and away, ball 1. And of the previous 4 times Guerrero's been on base, he scored 3 of them. Only the first inning was when he was left on base. 1-0 to Straw. Swing and a miss. Pretty nasty slider, bounced just after the plate. 1-1.
16 hits now in the ball game for the Toronto Blue Jays.
Still 6 outs to play with here. 1-1. Down and away, 2-1. We welcome you to the Don Valley North Lexus broadcast booth. I'm Ben Schulman alongside Chris LaRue. Show Ali, our host and producer, Tom Young, Lloyd Glazer, Phil Holter, our technical directors. As Straw rips it on the ground is short. Crawford to his right to pick it up. Throws a little wide, but a good stretch at first by Naylor to bring it in. 1 out. Guerrero remains on second base.
J.P. Crawford bobbled that ball at shortstop, and then he was kind of hurrying the throw across the diamond. I think that's why it pulled Josh Naylor off the bag just a little bit, but he was able to keep that toe on first base and get the first out of the inning.
12-2 Blue Jays with 1 out, top of the 8th. And the pitch to Alejandro Kirk. Fastball outside, ball 1. Alejandro Kirk's had a huge day. 2 for 3, a single, a 3-run homer, a walk, 2 runs scored. 1-0 pitch, inside, ball 2. And this is the thing about the playoffs. You're talking about it with Vlad. It's such a small sample that you can go from being the most important player to not contributing at all to right back to the most important player again. 2-0. Called strike, top of the zone. And it's not just the Blue Jays who've seen that. Julio Rodriguez was great to start the ALDS, slumped in the middle of it, came up big here to start the CS. Just got to hope that the ebbs and flows come at the right time. 2-1 pitch. Kirk takes down and away, ball 3.
With guys on base.
With guys on base, too. Doesn't hurt.
The flows are better with guys on base.
Hitters count for Alejandro Kirk. Guerrero with a big lead off second. No one close to him. 3-1 pitch. Grounded foul. Kirk chased a slider below the zone. 3-2. There's action in the Blue Jay pennant left. It appears Yariel Rodriguez is heating up for the Blue Jays, who just used Braden Fisher in a 1-2-3 seventh. Full count, 1 out. Guerrero takes his lead. Jackson staring at him, and the right-hander deals home. Kirk rips it on the ground, but right at Eugenio Suarez. Picks it up, throws across the diamond to first, and there are 2 outs still. Guerrero remains on second base.
That's the first time tonight that he's pulled a baseball. Everything has been either up the middle or to the right side. That front shoulder went flying just a little bit. I think he was out in front of that breaking ball from Jackson. Still hit it pretty hard, though.
Hit it 109, just right into the ground. But for Kirk, that's pretty much as hard as it gets. Pitch to Dalton Varsho with 2 outs. Swing and a miss. Ball gets away from Raleigh, and Vladdy will take off for third. It hit Raleigh, popped about 15, 20 feet in the air. Vladdy started, stopped, and then Raleigh was spinning around, didn't know where it was, so Guerrero takes off for third on a wild pitch.
There's been a lot of balls in the dirt tonight. Cal Raleigh actually has tried to backhand a couple of a couple of those balls in the dirt, but, I mean, let's be honest, he's getting worn out back there tonight.
And he's a guy who catches about as many innings as anyone in baseball. I can't imagine that the lower body feels great this time of year. 0-1 to Varsho. Swing and a miss. Good block there by Raleigh. Took it off the right thigh. 0-2. Although if you weren't with us earlier, a wild pitch with Dalton Varsho up gave the Blue Jays a 3-2 lead that they have not relinquished, leading 12-2 with 2 outs in the top of the 8th. Guerrero on third. Varsho with 2 hits already on the night. Faces an 0-2 from Jackson. And it's right there for strike 3. 95 at the knees to get Varsho and make it a scoreless top of the 8th after a leadoff double by Vlad. They leave Guerrero on third, but the Blue Jays lead 12-2. Middle of the 8th, game 3 of the ALCS. They're trying to get a win on the board in this championship series. They need 6.
Let's see if you can figure out the following baseball slang term.
Crawford with a single and a strikeout in this game. Yariel's 0-1. Lifted down the left field line, fairly shallow. Straw sprinting forward, gets there in time in fair territory to make the catch. Long run for Straw, shifted to left center with the lefty up, and he still got there.
That's a good sign. Well-located fastball at about 95 miles an hour. I think in his last outing, he didn't locate anything. He was yanking pitches. He was well out of the strike zone. And he gets J.P. Crawford there pretty quickly there.
It was a 3-1 walk, a 3-2 walk, and a 3-1 walk in his last outing. So in 2 pitches there, he gets it out. Both pitches strikes, and now the offering to Randy Arozarena is in there, strike 1. I mean, you have all the license in the world to go right after guys right now with the Blue Jays up 12-2 with 1 out in the bottom of the 8th. Right on right, Rodriguez deals. Breaking ball. In there again, caught the inside edge. It's 0-2. This building, once a party, is a lot quieter now. 0-2 pitch. In the dirt, ball 1. And it's not an easy thing to take a fan base and a building like T-Mobile Park, not entirely, but a lot out of a game. Not something that's achieved easily, but the Blue Jays are up 10 runs. 1-2 pitch. Outside, 2-2. Arozarena, a walk, a strikeout, a fielder's choice in the game. Faces a 2-2 pitch. Just low. That's a heck of a take from Randy Arozarena. That slider was in the zone about 99% of the way.
And he wasn't fooled by that pitch. You could see him really locked in, watching that pitch go. He truly thought that pitch was below the strike zone, and it was.
Payoff pitch. Hit high and deep left field. Straw in a jog, and Arozarena has left the yard. Solo home run for the top of the order hitter from Seattle. The first home run of the postseason for Arozarena. And the Mariners snap the streak of 12 consecutive runs by the Blue Jays. It's 12-3 for the Blue Jays now in the bottom of the 8th.
Yariel Rodriguez threw a very good slider down below the strike zone, and then he chose to double up with that slider, threw a little spinner over the heart of the plate, and Randy Arozarena didn't miss it. I'll still take that over a walk any day, especially up 10 runs.
I was going to say, call me crazy, but I'd rather that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Than a big miss. 12-3 Blue Jays, 1 out, bottom of the 8th. Cal Raleigh up. Yariel's pitch. Fastball at the knees at 97 from Rodriguez. 0-1.
And I'll tell you who else would rather take that over a walk all day long. Everybody's standing on the field right now.
For Arozarena, by the way, that snaps his streak of 106 at-bats without a homer. 0-1. Raleigh takes in the dirt, 1 ball, 1 strike. Speaking of homers, Raleigh has 2 of them in the postseason, 60 in the regular season, but he's 0 for 3 today. Flyout, pop-up, and a strikeout swinging. All against Shane Bieber. 1-1. And Raleigh launches. Right field and deep. Lucas at the warning track. Leaps at the fence. It's gone. Back-to-back homers for the Mariners as Raleigh hits his 3rd of the postseason. To 4, the Blue Jays lead, and the Mariners aren't giving up yet with 5 outs to go.
Again, not the end of the world. You're still up by 8 runs. Yariel Rodriguez has to continue to pound the strike zone. But when you're pounding the strike zone, you're still making good pitches. You're not just throwing baseballs down the middle. You're making good pitches. You're throwing good strikes. You're just not nibbling.
Nathan Lucas, by the way, came within about 2 inches of being able to get that ball. And the crowd back into it quickly here. Rodriguez, Julio that is, takes inside from Yariel Rodriguez, ball 1.
Yeah, that was a fantastic attempt down that right field line. He almost caught that baseball.
And all of a sudden, T-Mobile Park is alive. Fans on their feet, 12-4 Blue Jays. The 1-0 is low to Julio Rodriguez, 2-0. Ariel looks at his left hand, now sets. And his 2-0 pitch to Rodriguez. Called strike. 87 with a slider on the corner. Perfect pitch.
Mason Fluharty's getting loose down there again in that Blue Jays bullpen. I'm assuming now that he's warmed up twice, he's probably going to be in this ballgame in the 9th inning.
2-1. Rodriguez drives it, center field. Varsho going back, slows up in front of the warning track, and he makes the catch. Fans were hoping for back-to-back-to-back home runs, but that one died in deep center. 2 outs. I
tell you what, down by 8 runs, down by 9 runs, this place is still alive.
Yeah, it's a really great environment. Chris Bassett had said before today's game, he really explained how much respect the Blue Jays have, and he has for the city, for the team, for the fan base. 2 outs, Leo Rivas into pinch hit for Jorge Polanco, and he'll take the strike. Rivas actually previously came in defensively, pardon me. But now hits in Polanco's spot for the first time. First pitch was a strike. Here's the 0-1. Foul back 0-2.
It's a healthy hack from Rivas. Trying to hit the third home run in the inning for the Mariners.
One hit in this postseason for Leo Rivas, and without it, the Mariners might not be here. The game-tying knock in Game 5 of the ALDS. He knocked in a run in the 7th, and then no other runs would be scored until the 15th when Jorge Polanco sent Seattle to the championship series. Yariel's 0-2. In the dirt, 1 ball and 2 strikes. He did it on his 28th birthday, no less. So, pretty good day for Leo Rivas that day.
Can you imagine how electric that place was when he got that base hit?
I was awake for that for the most part.
Yeah, but you can't feel it when you're watching it on TV.
I was drifting in and out when Polanco hit his. 1-2. In the dirt, 2 balls and 2 strikes. But yeah, I mean, it got close to the Tigers, who already had upset Cleveland, really, to get into that series. It got close to the Tigers being in this championship series, which is almost easy to forget with how impressive Seattle has been so far in the championship series. 2 runs in for the Mariners this inning. 12-4 Blue Jays, bottom 8. The 2-2. Called, strike 3. Slider at the knees to freeze Rivas and end the inning. Raleigh and Arozarena in the opposite order go back-to-back, and the Mariners score for the first time since the first. Going to the 9th, it's 12-4 Blue Jays in Game 3 of the American League Championship Series. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust. Go. 34-year-old Jackson brings the glove up into the wind. His pitch to start the ninth is low with a slider, ball one. Mariners have navigated this without using too much of their pen. Called strike at the knees. Although they needed to, or felt like they needed to yank George Kirby after 4+ innings. They got 2 out of Ferguson, and they're looking for 2 out of Jackson here. 1-1 pitch is slammed. Right field and deep. Addison Barger in his home state absolutely destroys a solo home run. The Blue Jays lead in the top of the ninth, their 5th home run of the night as the homer parade continues.
Well, I did say it would be nice to see him hit something in a gap or over the fence. He chose the latter. What a swing from Addison Barger. Let's get him going.
He hit it in that gap between the fence and the fans. A moonshot as Ernie Clement comes up and hits a little dribbler to third. Barehand play. Suarez throws on the run to first. What a play. Eugenio Suarez, 1 out.
I did not think he was going to get to that baseball. Wow.
But to circle back to Barger for a moment, who just hit one 414 feet out to right. That's his first career postseason home run. And now 8 total homers in this game. I promise I'm not lying that this isn't an easy place to hit home runs, but tonight it's been like Coors Field as Andres Jimenez lifts one to center, and Julio Rodriguez is over to make the catch. 2 outs.
It's funny that you mentioned that because before the ball game I was talking with Rene Tassoni, who's a Blue Jays scout. He's a former big leaguer. Played with him on Team Canada a number of times, and he was watching BP. We were both standing there watching BP. And he was watching some of the guys hit the baseball, and he looked at me and he said, "This place is a graveyard, isn't it? It doesn't seem like that in batting practice." The Blue Jays were.
George Springer steps up. First pitch he sees is lined into right center field. That's down for a base hit, and amid the showers of boos, Springer is 3 for 6.
The Blue Jays were really barreling up everything and crushing baseballs in BP. So with that being said, I'm not surprised that they came out and had the offensive performance that they're having right now here.
13 runs on 18 hits. No errors for the Blue Jays. 4 runs, 7 hits, 1 error for the Mariners. And the Blue Jays entered tonight the offense with the most total runs in the postseason, tied with the Dodgers despite playing fewer games because they didn't play in the wild card. Well, they're going to be the highest scoring team in the postseason again as Lucas takes strike 1. No hold on Springer at first. Naylor plays behind him. 0-1. Swinging bunt first baseline. Jackson, the veteran, over to pick it up. Stops on the line, tags Lucas. And that does it for the top of the 9th inning. The Blue Jays add another run to their lead. Addison Barger with a solo home run makes it 13-4 Blue Jays, middle of the 9th. 3 outs separate the Blue Jays from their first win in the...
Let's see if you can figure out the following baseball slang.
genuinely Canadian. Mason Fluharty into the game for the Blue Jays with a 13-4 advantage. Blue Jays are 3 outs away from their first win in the ALCS since 2016.
We saw Mason Fluharty warm up twice, so as soon as that happens, you generally want to get a guy in a ball game. Here he is. Probably didn't need to throw in this ball game, but like I said, once you get warm twice down in that bullpen, it's probably a good idea to get you in a ball game.
He'll face a new hitter rather than a left-on-left with Naylor. Dan Wilson gives the rookie Harry Ford an opportunity to hit late in this game. A right-handed hitting catcher steps into the box. Fluharty's pitch. And Ford hits a line drive center field. Varsho on the run, pulls up, and plays it on a bounce. 1-run game, he might have had a dive attempt. 9-run game, he's going to play it in front of him. And Ford has a base hit.
Pretty good swing. Jumped all over that first pitch from Mason Fluharty.
And his first postseason at bat, his first postseason hit for Harry Ford, who you may remember from a wild 2023 World Baseball Classic game between Canada and Great Britain. He homered for the British in that game. Hey, Eugenio Suarez about to hit 13-4 Blue Jays. No outs, bottom 9. The pitch. High ball 1. Suarez 1 for 3 with a single, faces a 1-0, takes it on the inner third for a strike, 1-1. Stick with us after the conclusion of today's game. We'll wrap it up on the other side, giving you some of the totals and going through the top play of the game. And then Blair and Barker will have Blue Jays talk. 1-1. Fouled off the glove of Kirk. It drops in front of him. Foul ball makes it 1-2. Jeff Blair and Kevin Barker can be reached at 416-870-0590, star 590 on your cell, or you can text 590-590. Standard message and data rates may apply. No hold on the runner at first, Ford. No outs, bottom 9. 1-2 to Eugenio Suarez. Hit off the fists, a foul ball back into the seats. Still a ball and 2 strikes.
Mason Fluharty is not afraid of the power of Suarez. Continues to pound him in with that cutter, tying him up.
Mason Fluharty, despite being a rookie, doesn't appear to be afraid of much. Funky lefty with a shrug of the shoulders. The kick and the pitch. And it's fouled away again as he drove a cutter to the inner third. Maybe a little too far over the plate, but he got away with it.
92 miles an hour with that cutter. That's generally about as hard as it gets for Mason Fluharty. Sits 90-91 generally with that cutter.
One, 2. High. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Suarez would not chase the cutter up.
They're staying hard. Might try to mix in a sweeper here, but everything has been hard up and in to Eugenio Suarez.
Have they set him up maybe for the back foot sweeper? 2-2. Grounded foul. I think they were trying to go for it. Left it a little bit up. It was in off the plate, but Suarez got the bat to it to stay alive.
You could double up on that pitch here. That one wasn't really well located. It was kind of up, about thigh high. So if you want to throw another one, you better get it down and in.
Kirk remains set up inside. Kirk's been inside pretty much the whole at-bat. Now he moves to the outer half. 2-2. Cutter high, ball 3. And I know he hit 49 home runs this year, 50 if you want to count one in the postseason. But at this point now, you got to go right after Suarez and see if he can get himself out. Blue Jays up 13-4 with a runner on first. 3-2. Fouled and dropped by Kirk. It was an awkward check swing foul. Kirk nearly grabbed it, but it fell out of the glove and onto the dirt. Suarez, by the skin of his teeth, stays alive. Rally caps all over T-Mobile Park. Rally shoes on some people's heads. 3-2 again. Swing and a miss. Strike three. Flew hard. He punches out Suarez, and he challenged him 92 right down the middle. 1 out.
Yeah, just missed the barrel a little bit with the late movement of that cutter. That's an important strikeout. And again, in a 9-run ball game, you're not trying to strike guys out. You're just trying to induce early contact, throw good pitches in the strike zone. And it seems like Mason Fluharty is doing that so far in this outing.
Another pinch hitter into the game. Mitch Garver hits for Dominic Canzone with a runner on and 1 out in the 9th. First pitch is a little high, or perhaps outside. It's ball 1. Dan Wilson's used all of his bench except Miles Mastroboni. Carver hitting. Canzone's night is done. 1-0. To the backstop, and up to second base goes Ford in a jog. A wild pitch. It went under the legs of Mitch Garver, who had to move to get out of the way. It'll be a wild pitch, and it's 2-0. So runner on second and 1 out. 2-0 pitch. Popped up by Garver. Back of first foul. Vladdy ranging over onto the side warning track. Turns back and makes the catch, leaning back to his left. He makes that awkward play as easily as any first baseman you'll see in the game. There are 2 outs, and Blue Jays fans can rise to their feet. 1 out away from a win in this series.
It's been a pretty fun day for them.
The Blue Jays have hit 5 home runs and scored 13 runs on 18 hits. They fell behind 2-0 in the first, but since the third have never looked back. 13-4 the score. Victor Robles, the last hope for Seattle. Runner on second in the pitch. Hit on a bounce to first. Vladdy up with it. He goes to the bag and back off the mat. The Blue Jays punch back with a win in this series. They take down Seattle 13-4 on the back of a powerful offensive day and a masterful start from Shane Bieber.
Yeah, that was a huge win for the Toronto Blue Jays. That's close to a must-win as it gets, and they really came to play on the offensive side. On the pitching side, Shane Bieber threw like Shane Bieber tonight. I think that was the most impressive thing. The stuff itself is evolving, and it's getting better each and every start, but he was locating everything. He kept the Seattle Mariners offense off balance for the majority of this outing. A little bit of a speed bump in that first inning, but he really figured it out, started to make pitches, mixed in the changeup when he had to. What an outing from him, and what an outing from this Blue Jays offense.
The Blue Jays win 13-4 the final. We'll take a quick step aside. When we come back, we'll wrap it up and get you over to Blue Jays Talk. Again, 13-4 to make it a 2-1 series lead for the Seattle Mariners in the ALCS. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming on the Sportsnet app and the Sportsnet Radio Network.